Chapter 7, Threats. At this point, I knew I had to get away from him, but I was scared. He is going to take my life if I try to escape. One February evening, I thought I found my opportunity at dinner after an event. We were at a ritzy restaurant in a private booth. It was an exclusive setup. We were alone, but we were in public. Perfect. Sean was on the phone talking to an unknown listener as he sat down. His words on that call will be etched into my mind forever. We're going to release Who Shot You now. He waited for a response, then went on to say, of course they're going to think Big was talking about Pac. That's the whole effing point. Nobody would give a F about a diss track against LL. Effing Cool J. Do you know how much money we'll make with this kind of rap beef? Niggas battling after someone really got shot? This may not be the best time for this conversation. Sean was finishing up. We drop that shit tomorrow. He listened to the phone, then responded, there's going to be blood in the street. Niggas missed. Pac's alive. Let's capitalize on that shit. When he responds, let's capitalize on that ish. When he responds, it's just going to mean more money. He turned around and looked at me, spoke back into the phone. I'll call you back. Then hung up and spoke to me. What's wrong? I tried my best to fake a smile at what I heard. After all, me and Pac were intimate. I responded, nothing. Sean was a fool. Are you sure? His demeanor was threatening. But I responded as cool as I could muster to his intimidating stare. Yeah, of course. He took my hand saying, that's wonderful. He began to squeeze my hand until it hurt as he continued, because seeing you walk in the office while I was talking about killing that mother effer and you not saying ish to me had me just a little concerned. His grip was starting to hurt badly. You're hurting me. As he continued, he squeezed tighter. Your pretending you didn't hear anything was a sign of your loyalty to me. Not something I should be concerned with, right? I had no choice but to give him the answer he wanted. I knew I was trapped when I responded. Of course, I'm loyal to you. He let me go as he responded, good. And remember, I'm the big dick. I snatched my hand back in pain. He smiled and said, let's start with a good wine. He snapped his fingers and his favorite wine was poured for him. They knew what Sean wanted, and what he wanted he got. I'm trapped. Now isn't the time for me to launch my escape plan. I have to be strategic. It's going to be hard to leave the glamour, the glitz, the lifestyle. I mean, this man just snapped his fingers in one of the most exclusive restaurants in New York City, and they poured his drink of choice. The bottle of wine is $800, and this is in 1994. The list to get in this place is 6 months long if you are somebody. Mayor Giuliani has a table here tonight. Also, if I got up and walked out, I would be safe. But what about tomorrow? I had to think. He sipped his wine and smiled. You're not drinking? He pointed at my glass. And of course, a waiter filled it. They knew what I liked as well. Sean has a bad temper. He yells sometimes, and okay, he's roughed me up once or twice. But he never punched me, he never bruised me, and he never hit Quincy. I would not have stood for that. He never laid a hand on my son. At that time, I never thought of him touching Quincy in any way. Then the significance of what he said hit me. Is he mad at Tupac over me? I'm the big dick? Oh my God, the last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. He enjoyed Jamie too. He gets so insanely jealous. It's not fair. He wants to bring other men into the bedroom, but gets jealous when he does. Damn, you're quiet tonight, he said, snapping me back into the presence. I asked a question that was burning in my mind since I walked into that office. What does Chris think of this? He looked at me coolly and said, his fat ass better just keep doing music. A third guest was escorted over by security. Sean motioned for him to sit. A waiter walked over to Sean Carter and asked, "What? Would you like something?" Carter responded, "No, thank you." Then said hello to me with a smile. Smiling, I replied, "Hey, Carter," and took a sip of my drink. The Seans may share a bed together from time to time, but thankfully I was never asked to join. Carter went on to speak to Sean. I thought we were meeting in private. Sean replied with a nonchalant shrug. I had to discuss something with her. It's fine. Go ahead. He wielded this kind of power. Carter shifted uncomfortably in his chair before continuing. It's true. Chris and Pac were about to start their own label. Sean slammed his fist against the table, shouting, "Doesn't anyone have any effing loyalty?" Carter, well, that's not happening now, right? Sean peered at Carter with distrust. Why the F are you so eager to share this with me? Chris is your man. F. He brought you on. You're stabbing him in the back? Carter responded with indignity. First, I'm tired of being that nigga's son. I need to come out from under his damn shadow. Sean smiled slightly. Okay, I respect that. Carter kept going. On top of that, this nigga's making that move, and it should have been with me. Sean looked at Carter blankly. Pac put Chris on. You know this. What's this really all about, Carter? Don't effing try to play me. The Jay-Z of today wasn't born yet. This young Sean Carter was in over his head. Corner, he had to spill it out. I want his spot. Ambition. Now this is a man I can work with. Sean made a grandiose gesture towards Carter. Waiter, get this MFer whatever he wants. Carter smiled. Thank you. Sean responded, honesty and ambition. We're going to make a lot of bread together. Carter ordered a drink as he stated again. Guess he won't be leaving with that nigga to do their own label now. Sean responded with his normal air of arrogance. Why don't you let me worry about that? I took this as my cue to escape. I told Sean, I'm going to go ahead and get back to Quincy. Sean was wrapped up in his conversation with Carter and barely noticed as he excused me. Had a limo drop you off. I didn't eat. I didn't care. We didn't eat. He didn't care. I smiled and kissed him on the cheek and left.
All right, y'all. Back again. The Hot Topic TV covering Kim Porter book, chapter 7. All right. In this chapter 7, called Threats, it seems like, let's jump right into it. She's coming to the grips that she feels trapped because she keeps mentioning she wants to get away. She keeps mentioning thinking about getting away. So she feels, and she also mentioned if she tried to escape, that Diddy would kill her. So she feel like she trapped at this stage of the relationship, right? Then it was some more about Tupac, you know. She was saying that that Diddy was on the phone talking to somebody about dropping the song Who Shot You. For y'all that's too young to remember or never heard the song, Who Shot You is Biggie's song. That's Tupac diss that he said that wasn't a Tupac diss. But everybody knew it was a Tupac diss because this is how it goes. Tupac got shot. Biggie drops a song called Who Shot You. I mean, he don't really name Tupac in the song. He don't really go at him directly like Tupac did him and hit him up. But you could read between the lines. But anyway, Diddy was on the phone, she said, saying, yeah, we're going to drop that song tomorrow. You know, we need to capitalize off of this nigga getting shot. We're going to make so much money. You know, a nigga got shot, and then, the beef that's going to come from that is going to make us a whole lot of money. This is what she claims that her Diddy having a conversation over the phone, talking to somebody else about, right? Also, she details the conversation that she witnessed. Now, this is where it gets sketchy. This is where it gets crazy. Not that the book ain't already crazy as it is, but this right here, I don't know if I believe. Okay, here we go. She said that she witnessed an interaction between Diddy and Jay-Z. This is Jay-Z before he was the Jay-Z that we know today, the big mogul, the big time, the GOAT pretty much of hip hop, one of the GOATs of rap. he was just getting started and nobody knew who he was really outside of New York. So she was saying that they shared the bed together. I know she slid that in there, and I'm like, okay, so Jay-Z and Diddy were sleeping together? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, anything's possible, but, But anyway, she also was saying that she heard Jay-Z was upset. Oh, let me back up a little bit. She was saying that Diddy caught wind of Tupac and Big supposed to start their own thing, own label together. And Diddy was upset about that. So, yeah, Diddy was upset about that. That sounded about right. If Big was a real dude and he'd been around Puff for a year or two or whatever, how long it was, he probably seen that, okay, I got to get away from this dude, I got to get away from this dude. So, being that Pac was his man's, that made perfect sense, is to, start a label with Pac, So, that make a lot of sense, But this part right here is the part that sounds far-fetched. She said that she witnessed Jay-Z and Diddy having a conversation, and the conversation was Jay-Z wanted Big spot. Basically, Jay-Z was like, man, Big and Pac starting a label together. Big should be starting that label with me. So Jay-Z was basically jealous that Big was going to go start something with Pac and not him. From Kim Porter's perspective, or what she's saying, what she put in the book. All right. She also said that the conversation went like pretty much Jay-Z was lobbying the Diddy, like, yeah, I want Big spot, like, he not loyal, you know what I'm saying? The nigga, trying to start a label with another dude, he should be with me, this, that, and the third. Now, Diddy was like, ain't that your mans or whatever? And, Jay-Z was like, yeah, I thought he was my mans. If he was my mans, we started a label with me and not Tupac. Okay. Do niggas do stuff like this? Yeah, they do stuff like this. But does that sound like Jay-Z, that he would vocally tell somebody something like this? It don't sound like it to me. It don't sound like Jigga would put himself in a compromising position, because Diddy could have been like, no, nigga, matter of fact, I'm about to tell Big that you stabbing him in his back. You know what I'm saying? So even, by going and saying all that to Diddy, he exposed himself as somebody that been around Big but eyeing his spot the whole time. Right? So, I don't know. But Jay-Z track record, yeah, he befriends people, and then he step on them, and then once then he takes their spots, or he moves in a position above them and leaves them behind. That's been his whole forte. If you look at it, he did it with Damon Dash, he did it with Beanie Siegel, he did it with almost everybody that he's been affiliated with. So from that perspective, he is capable of doing something like that. So it could be true. You feel me? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Chapter 7, conclusion. I feel like overall, she was, reluctant. To me, it feels like she was trapped because she wanted part of her wanted to be there because she liked the whole attention and all of the luxury lifestyle and everything. And then a part of her wanted to leave because she knew Diddy was abusive and dude was crazy. So, that's chapter 7. You know what I'm saying? I'm Robbie Maurice, Hot Topic TV, Hood Topic TV. So, we're gonna cover chapter 8 in a couple more days. So y'all keep your eye on the channel, subscribe, hit that bell so y'all know when I drop the next chapter. And yeah, fuck with your boy, man. Robbie Maurice. Holla at your boy.